Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome to another video. So on this video, I want to talk about client acquisition infrastructure. Why do you need one and what good is it for? Okay. And most importantly, how did AlphaTrend.io, our agency, built one that not only generates over 50 qualified appointments every single month after month, but also collecting over six figures in the last 3 months. And I'm talking about cash collected, not revenue. That's almost triple that amount. So without further ado, I want to give you a breakdown of what we will do on this video. So from identifying what each and every single name means, because a lot of people just throw out some cool names, but not really understanding what the underlying meaning is. Number two, seeing what is the best system for you and for your offer, step by step, like analyzing based on your offer, will be able to make a decision at the end of this video, which one of these systems is the best for you, and also how you go about making decisions when it comes to the implementation side of things. So that not only the system, but the infrastructure as well. So before we dive in, my name is Denis Rhomays. For those who don't know me, I'm the owner of AlphaTrend.io. We are a growth and consulting agency, and pretty much what we do is we help agencies, coaches, consultants, and the high-ticket service-based businesses get more clients, get those clients in amazing crashing results, and of course, make a lot of money along the way. Now, if you want more info, just click on the first link in the description. Okay, so let's dive into it. So first off, what is client acquisition? Client acquisition is a department which traditionally would be called business development, where you have a team, systems, SOPs, that the whole focus is to get more clients, predictably, right? So you want a whole department that's working towards the same goal, which is getting you clients. That's easy. Now, what is the infrastructure? The infrastructure is the pillars, like the things or the not only systems, teams, but all the components that simply don't change in that whole department. For example, there are a lot of things that you can change. You can change channels, you can change the approach, you can change the volume, but the infrastructure is what holds and glues everything together to make sure that it doesn't break, right? And the system is the overall protocol or sequence of activities and decisions you made to make the whole thing run. Now, there are a couple of elements that come into a client acquisition department, and we will cover them all from input, type, channel, code, media, and team, which represent the acquisition infrastructure, angle, and of course, the impact. So let's start from the top. And I think this will be easy for you to drive this idea home, which is like, let's say that you own a Porsche, okay? I hope soon to own one. But let's say that you own a Porsche and you are the best pilot in the world. I don't care. If you don't have fuel, the car will not run. It doesn't matter how fast it is, how good you are. If the car doesn't have fuel, even with the best engine, it will not run, right? So that is why we start by focusing on input. Input is the fuel that will make the whole machine move, right? And for every single member, every single client that joins the Alpha Acquisition Program, which is our flagship program, we always indicate a minimum of 200 to 1,000 touch points per day. Now, let's break down what touch points mean. Touch points are attention events. Events that touch on a user or on someone and grabs their attention to show them something about what you do and how you could potentially help that person. Okay. So when we talk about 200 to 1,000 a day, bare minimum, we are talking about touch points, which mean attention events. Now, when it comes to the type, you will make a decision here. And as you grow, you will not have only one type of client acquisition infrastructure or systems. You have multiple, but we like to start by only leveraging one, because complexity should scale as the business scales and not the other way around. So usually you will start with outbound, inbound only if you have some sort of financial flexibility. So for that reason, let's start by focusing on outbound, because I know that a lot of people start here, and this is where a lot of things go wrong. So I don't want you to make the same mistakes as most people. So let's break those down. Now, bear in mind that I'm talking about online businesses. So if you are on a local brick and mortar vertical, probably this will not apply to you, or will be a little bit different, but will apply 100% for all the online business models. Okay, with outbound, you have social outreach when it comes to the channels, okay? Automated email outreach, cold calling, and texting. I'm not counting in door-to-door or networking or affiliate. Like, you have a lot of different other types and channels, but I want to focus on the best performing ones, at least based on the data that we have from our clients. So outreach, pretty simple. You can pick and choose between these four. There are other channels or other platforms on social media, but Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter are definitely the ones that perform the best. Automated email, self-explanatory, and cold calling and texting as well. Now, when it comes after we made a decision on the channel, the decision about the channel should be made based on where is it easier to find the decision maker or your ideal customer profile? How active are they on those platforms, on those media or mediums? And how often do they check their inboxes? Okay. For example, cold calling in the e-com space wouldn't be the best approach, right? As it wouldn't be sending emails, for example, for wellness coaches. So there are a lot of different ways on how to look at these, and it's always good to make decisions based on data. And like, just because you think something works like that, sometimes it doesn't. So let's dive into the part of the infrastructure, which is where AlphaTrend.io specializes in, which is building the whole structure when it comes to code, media, and team. First off, for social media outreach, you will need outreach CRMs. You'll need tracking sheets. You will need automation tools. You will need VSL frameworks, and of course SOPs. Now, when it comes to cold email, and I'm talking about like mass email, you'll need scraping tools, sending softwares, platforms to host your domains and update all your records, SPDF records, DKIM, all that complicated stuff. You also need VSL frameworks that will work a little bit differently compared with the social media ones. Now, when it comes to cold calling, you might think that, oh, I just need my phone. No, you don't. You actually need, if you want to be effective on it, if you want to do 200 to 1,000 touch points per day, you'll need scraping tools, call or texting softwares, and also good and proven scripts that you know that convert, right? Now, the exciting part, team. Talent, I cannot stress enough how important talent is. Like, I don't know any type of business that is successful without a team of superstars. And the decisions start when you're starting a business. So same applies for your client acquisition department. Team, for example, for outreach on social media, you will need to make a decision if you need a team of VAs or a team of outreach specialists, or for example, elite setters. What are the difference between them? Why you would need one over the other? How many of them? And what is the type of growth that you can expect, right? Now, for example, for mass email, you probably might need an admin VA to take care of all the inbox and all the lead flow, or to scrape, also to help managing the scraping tools and all that. Or will it be you the one doing it? So those are a couple of decisions that you will make. I'm pretty much bringing down like some of the decisions that we go through with our clients, but something that you should do yourself if you are trying to build your own client acquisition infrastructure. Now, for cold calling, will you hire a cold caller, for example? Will you hire a third-party agency to do it for you? How will you do that? Will you build everything in-house? Will you do it yourself? And last but not least, we have also the angle. So based on different types of acquisition systems, you might go with direct response or value approach. Or for example, with cold calling, it's direct response. Most of the times, this is the one that we see working the best. And it's all about your offer, your niche, and your service market fit. Without these three into the equation, making a decision is just like guessing, right? So let's look at the impact. So this is where a lot of people don't show you this. Like a lot of people just make it look like rainbows, but the truth is that everything has their pros and cons, right? For example, for social media outreach, the pros are that it's quick to set up, at least for us. It's a predictable cost because you will know exactly how much you will spend on a monthly basis or weekly basis. You'll get quick feedback from the market. You can leverage $3 an hour VAs, $3 an hour outreach specialists or growth specialists when it comes plus a commission, or even elite appointment setters. The cons are that you need to be able to manage a team, and it will take some effort from you, some energy, some time, right? It will be difficult to keep consistency in hitting the KPIs every single day. Record looms, record VSLs. It will also take some energy on your end. It takes some time to see results. We are always in favor of volume because, as Alex Rhomays says, volume negates luck, and that's true. If you do it, if you 10x the amount of output that is required and you 10x the expectations, it's unreasonable for you not to see the results. And anyhow, you will still wait some time to see the results come in. Why? Because you need to fine-tune the machine, fine-tune the whole system to make it work. Cold audience. This is another con because at the end of the day, you are outreaching to people that never heard about you. So you still need to educate them not only on their problem, if you don't have a good offer that's already proven in the market, but also educate them on your solution vehicle. For example, with email, mass email here, when it comes to the pros, it's easy to scale. It's pretty easy. It's a couple of buttons and more domains to get you from 1,000 emails a day to 3,000 or 2,000 emails a day. Now, the results are predictable because, I mean, it's easy to keep up with the KPIs because it's not you, it's a software, or it's not a team, it's software. It's easy to operate, so you don't need as big as a team as you would need for other solutions. Usually to run it, like maintenance-wise, would cost you around $99 a month. But the cons are that it's very complex to set up. So there are a lot of things that come into it. Deliverability, what are the best like domain hosts, where you should host how to take care of DMARC, all that stuff. Honestly, our team does an amazing job taking care of those for our clients. It's costly to set up, at least the setup. It's a bit costly because you need at least 4 domains, 20 email inboxes. And this is just to get started. Then if you want to grow, well, it starts adding up. You'll get slow feedback from the market. Why? Because if you have fresh domains, for example, it will take some time to get traction and replies. And also, again, it's a cold audience, meaning that once they book in the meeting, it's still cold. So on the other hand, for example, here with cold calling, very easy to start, low maintenance cost. So apart from the software, it doesn't cost that much. You will get very, very quick feedback from the market. Why? Because deliverability will not be an issue, especially from at least on most countries. But the cons are that it's very, very hard to scale. Why? Because even if you are good at cold calling, it's very difficult to train other people to be good at cold calling. Or it's a very intense activity. If you're not like a confident individual, it's tough, like hearing 150 or 170 no's every single day, right? Again, very, very cold audience. Low show-up rate. This also impacts when it comes to the meetings, and it's not for every single niche. As I mentioned, like for e-com, for fintechs, wouldn't make sense. Now, let's look at the inbound section, and this is where I find it quite interesting. And I see that people usually don't leverage inbound for 2 reasons. 1, they don't know how. 2, they are afraid. And fear is something that we can deal with, and not knowing how, that's even easier. But the fear comes usually from a place of lack of experience. So that's why we push all our clients to start working on inbound as soon as possible, mostly because this is the most powerful type of systems that you can work on or that you can build, even though they are a little bit more complex. Okay, so let's take a look at the 2 main ones. Of course, there are others, referrals, affiliates, but let's focus on the 2 that we see the quickest and best results.
One, ads. So it's not I wouldn't say that this is a shock for everyone, for anyone. So ads, I wouldn't say this is a shock for anyone. We know that ads are scalable, they work very well. The two best platforms that we've seen, at least based on our data, are Meta and YouTube. Okay, now it's a little bit tricky to set them up, and knowing what are the best performing funnels and strategies depending on your niche, because there are a couple of variations to make this work, but nonetheless there are a lot of benefits to it. Now, organic, pure organic, you have social, YouTube, and communities or groups. Very powerful, very powerful ways of getting clients. Now, of course, there are, when it comes to the infrastructure, they also need a lot of different components to make them work properly. So let's take a look at the components of the client acquisition infrastructure for both ads and organic. For ads, we have advertising platforms, so knowing how to operate them, how to optimize them, how to make sure that they don't get banned, tracking sheets, tracking systems, booking softwares, VSLs, of course, optional depending on some niches, but you definitely need them. Then for example, organic, you will still need outreach CRMs. It's not just 100% inbound. Sometimes it's inbound-ish, right? Tracking sheets to keep up with all the KPIs, automation tools, VSLs, posts like content schedules, all the code and media that goes behind the scenes that no one sees. Everyone thinks that, oh, I'm seeing Mr. Beast and everyone like doing videos and they're going viral. It's so easy. No, it isn't. It takes a lot of time, really. So, and now when it comes to the teams, here it's crucial, like non-negotiable for us, at least for us. You need one elite appointment setter in your agency, in your business, if you're going to launch ads. And same thing for organic. Now, for ads, we also advise having a triager, usually at least the elite setters that we train, that we provide and place on our clients' businesses. They already know how to do that. But if you have like an appointment setter that doesn't know how to do that, well, you will need to train them on that. Of course, when it comes to the approach, there are different approaches. So direct response is usually what works the best with ads. And of course, value approach is always what works 100% the best when it comes to organic. Now, there are not also pros and cons for both of these systems or both of these approaches. And for ads, quick to set up, at least for us, of course, depends on how knowledgeable you are about advertising. Quick feedback, you get like, it doesn't get quicker than this. It's very scalable and easy to scale as long as you have the funds and the financials. You can start at $15 a day. Think about it, $15 a day. And you will be targeting warm audiences because you have behavior targeting, interest-based targeting, lookalikes. You have a lot of things that you can do with this. Now, the cons, of course, are the investment, especially if you are not 100% confident on your ability to generate high intent attention from your ads. The backend system, you need a very solid backend system from funnel, VSL, team, everything ready and on time, working as a clock. Why? Because otherwise you are pretty much burning money. And if you don't value money, well, you are, by all means, you are my guest. But if you value it, you need to have a strong and proven backend system. And of course, competition. There's a lot of competition. And if you are trying just to copy, like you go to Facebook ad library, you see someone doing something and you just copy their approach, guess what? Probably will not work for you because you are just seeing the front end and not the back end. And the back end is usually what brings in the money. The front end is what creates the attention. So it doesn't matter if you know how to create attention, but if you don't know how to own it. Okay, now for the organic, of course, the pros. Almost no cost. I'm saying no cost, but it's almost. You have a couple of systems that you have in place in the team, of course. Warm audience, very, very warm. I would say even hot audience. Compounding effect. You see that from all the others. This is the only one where I mentioned the compounding effect, which is like the snowball effect, where it gets bigger and bigger and quicker as it goes. And that's the thing, is like, as you grow, it just gets bigger. As long as you don't mess up, You don't scam anyone. You don't do anything like that people can question. Well, as long as you do everything as you should, you will just keep growing and growing. And then of all of them, for that specific reason, is the most important and powerful one. Now, there are a couple of cons, of course. So it takes a lot of time to build the system, build the infrastructure, understanding how it works, nurturing systems, nurturing assets, lead magnet VSLs. You need like a couple of different stages to like create like a stairway of intention that people can keep climbing until they are ready to make a decision. And also, I would say the worst part is no predictability on how things scale. Like, you cannot predict if you will scale to 1,000 followers or 5,000 or 100,000 followers on, for example, on your YouTube channel just by posting videos. That's not how it works. Depends on your niche, on the type of content, how good you are at delivering and communicating. And also, it takes a lot of time to scale, a lot of time. But it's one of those things, like, once it scales, it's like you have that, like, it's like the Valley of Despair from James Clear. You can see like that graph where you see nothing happening for a long time, and then out of a sudden you see like a huge curve going up. It's the same thing. So this is pretty much how we navigate our clients at Alpha Acquisition, our main flagship program, and help them add multiple six figures in 3 to 6 months with our mentorship program. Now, if you want to find out more about that, feel free to click on the first link. I'm more than happy to show you and walk you through on how we do things. And if you found this video useful, make sure to smash that like button. That helps the algorithm and helps our channel. And also consider subscribing if you want to see more like these. Well, see you on the next one. Peace out.